chapter 1 में last श्लोका, that is Yasmin nidam vichikitsanti mrityo. That is the first chapter, first valley, last sloka, 29. Yasmin nidam vichikitsanti mrityo yat samparaye mahati bruhi vatnastat yoyam varo goda manupravishto nanyam tasmat nachiketa pranite. Nachiketa wants no other boon. Na anyam tasmat nachiketa pranite. He does not want. Why? Because people have always doubted about the self. ऐसा कुछ है क्या आत्मा करके, क्या चीज़ बोल रहे हैं? ये आप तो काल्पनिक है. It is imagination. What is the proof? It is there. And also, this is necessary because it's very important. It's a question of liberation. It's sampraya mahati bruyat nastat. And it's also goda manupravishto. This is so secret and it's so very difficult. It's hidden, so to say. It needs much investigation. It's a mystery. Therefore, please explain to me. Now, there are so many questions involved here. One is, who is asking the question? Nachiketa. Now, Nachiketa is that way, is a real aspirant. वो जो qualification मैंने बताया, he has passed all that. Because they say, every student 4 चीज़ उनका पास करना है. पहले तो नित्य अनित्य वस्तु विवेक. The difference between what is real or permanent or eternal and what is unreal or anitya or temporary. So first test he has passed because he has negated, refused all that is unreal. Whatever Yama offered, he said, I don't want. जो तो ही वो बोले छे हमारे कोनोडे जरूरत नहीं, हम कुछ भी नहीं चाहिए बोल दिया था. So इसलिए has passed. Actually, we always say that even this one test if you do in our life, we will be saved. आप सुबह से शाम तक सोचिए what we do, morning to night, 99.99% is gone in anitya only. नित्य के लिए कितना समय निकल रहा है? How much we think about nitya? It's all anitya only. Some people are very gross. Some people are little sophisticated. यही फर्क है. There are people who are planning, scheming, killing, stealing, this, that. Others are in a gentle way, making money, making this, meeting people, eating, going here and there, or only talking about ourselves, our relatives, our achievements. This is day and night, this is what we do. What else we do? So, that's why they put it as a first. Among the 4 disciplines, for any qualified aspirant, Shastras, the first one they talk of is Nitya Anitya Vastu Viveka. Anything you bring, everything that we do, it's all linked to Anitya only. That's why if one discipline, if one can practice, our life quality, spiritual life will go up like anything. See, it doesn't matter whether you're in a house or an ashrama or married or unmarried or young or old, nothing matters. For everybody, the yardstick is same, measure is same. Can you go through this filter of Nitya and Anitya? Bring me anything, any question, anything, whatever you say in this world. Because the whole world is anitya, na? See, because we live in a world of anitya, whatever you do is only anitya. So unless you are able to separate yourself from this world, we can never think of nitya. So day and night we are only immersed in anitya all the time. One may be a little sophisticated. So, even see, at the highest of Advaita, even they say, even Upasana, etc., they also come under Anitya only. Not only what are gross worldly things, even the subtle so-called your puja, Upasana, etc., everything comes under that only in an ultimate sense. So, that's why Nachiketa is very, very clear. And Iha Amutra Falabhoga Viraga, that means Vairagya. उनका तो बहुत पर्याप्त मात्रा में वैराग्य है, इसलिए तो वो सब he said no. And how this vairagya came? Because he had this nitya vastu viveka. He saw that these are all temporary, useless, Throw it away. And then Shadadamadi Sampatti, Shamadama Uparati Titikshra Shraddha Samadhan, Shraddhavan hai, or all those other disciplines also he had, is qualified. And Mumukshutva, here he comes, at least in this sloka, he clearly says, Yo, see, Yasma Sampraye Mahati Bruhit Nasta. So this relates to a very ultimate, very important question. So he must answer. So he is a mumukshu. He wants to know really. So naturally, he is a qualified aspirant. Similarly, the Shastras also speak of the qualifications for the teacher. Yama being already in that position, obviously is a person of, is a Atmagyani, is a Brahmagyani, is a person of knowledge. That's why Nachiketa says, you are the fittest teacher. You must teach me because I have Shraddha and this is so difficult to learn and there is always doubt from everybody. Now we see, now this debate, whether there is anything beyond life after this existential world, naturally it's a very, very, very big question. The Charvakas, today as I told you, the world is completely flooded with Charvakas only. Their idea is, there is nothing after this body. शरीर गया तो गया, अब उसके बाद क्या है? क्या बोल रहे हैं आप? What is there? इसलिए Starbucks always used to say, eat, make money, enjoy. That's what people are also saying now. So, but then, it has been, in a very subtle way, again and again it has been proved, the idea of Punarjanma. So much researches have gone. So many things happen in this world. A young child of 3 years taking up a piano and playing all the ragas and raginis. In so many ways, it has been proved beyond doubt there is something beyond life. And also, what happens to all the karmas, etc., that we did? Will they all go away? What will be the effect of all that? What will happen to all those karmas, etc.? As against which they always say that, no, what is the guarantee that anything is beyond life? So both sides there. These people, the Vedantis say that have you proved that there is nothing beyond death? And they say that, have you proved that anything beyond death? So both they keep arguing. But then, this karma, its manifestation, the results, how are they to be enjoyed? What will happen? So these are all huge questions that are being debated. Now also, the idea, there is something beyond life, and also, the pramana, there is something that Atman or self that exists. Now what is the pramana? There are so many, the Shastras accept so many types of pramana. One is pratyaksha. Pratyaksha to nobody has seen. Nobody has seen life beyond death. Nobody has seen Swarga. Even the worlds, nothing is not seen. Pratyaksha is ruled out. But Anumana, inference, through so and so, through so many other sources, hearsay. So Anumana, but then for Anumana normally, what they quote is, wherever there is dhuma, there is Vanni. Wherever there is fire, wherever there is smoke, there is fire. So in a distance we see, in Parvat mein धुआं दिख रहा है. So वहाँ तो वन्नी है. So there is fire because we see this smoke in this hill which is far, far away. Now, so although fire is not seen, because smoke is seen everywhere, not only that, in the house, when you cook, even if you are somewhere else, when the smoke comes, there is a fire. So everywhere, wherever it is tested, yatra yatra dhumo tatra tatra vanni. Wherever there is dhuma, there is vanni. So it is proved. So they take as anumana. So this anumana is, so then in that case, so here also they say, here exactly it cannot be taken as anumana because here the location of the anumana, parvat, that is seen. But if you say that the Atma exists beyond death, beyond life, there is nothing like Parvat that is seen. Although the Vanni is not seen, the mountain is seen. And with that, the Anumana that there is Vanni, there is substantiated. But there is, nobody has seen Swarga, nobody has seen anything. So the Anumana also is largely not substantiated, or that is not very clearly accepted, because in your Anumana here, the location or locus of the Anumana itself is not proved. वहाँ तो जो पर्वत है ना, उसके आधार से आप धुआं देख रहे हैं, and also you are inferring the Vanni. But here there is nothing underlying, nothing is seen, everything is only imagined. So, but then there are also some other pramanas which Shastras accept, namely Upama and also Shabda. So this Atma is only Shabda Pramana. Shabda Pramana is what you hear through Shastras, from the realized souls, from great souls, etc. So here the Shabda Pramana is that because Yama is a person who is a knower, who is knowledgeable. So from the Shastras it's seen, and then now Nachiketa wants to hear it from a person who himself is a knower of Brahman, and through that he wants to get that knowledge, and then ultimately it is. So apart from that, there are in the past, the history has people who had realized that, gone beyond. Not only that, you see, quite often what is the real purpose of this Atma Gyan? What is the idea? What do you get by realizing the self? One is that संसार जितने बंधन है उसी से मुक्ति है. So many, any kind of bondage in the samsara, which are all agyan janita, which are all generated by ajnana, the complete cessation of all that is what we need. Because of ajnana, there is endless suffering. So that is why dukkha nivritti and sukha prapti, getting rid of complete dukkha and enjoying that supreme peace which is beyond all that, these are the real goals of this ultimate knowledge. So there is a purpose in striving for all that. So that is how it is. So this Atma Jnana, this search for that becomes meaningful, and that is how it is being taken forward in that. So this is how he finally says that I don't want anything else. This much I want. I want to know what is the self, and then is there anything beyond death? Because otherwise, if the body goes, they say that everything goes. What happens to the life after that? Is a very important question. So, through him, through Shabda Pramana, he wants to know for certain this is what is there, and this is what we have to understand from you. So, you please guide me. So, and also, although Nachiketa asked for those, even the second boon, where he said, teach me how this Nachiketa Agni is performed, so that, I know the way to heaven, etc. There also, unless there is certainty about self, unless I know myself, what is the point in myself aspiring for something beyond? स्वर्ग के बारे में मैं कुछ पूछना, मांगना, ऐसे कोई लेना, whether it is fruitful or not, because I do not know anything about myself. So what is the guarantee that it will be of any use to me? I can ask for Swarga, but that Swarga to be meaningful also, first one should know who am I, what is my nature, whether there is something beyond that. Unless I know that, even my getting that other boon about Swarga, etc., may not be purposeful. So from all these angles, he's again and again is asking. He wants to listen from a great person, and is really the Adhikari, which is. So then Yama praises him in various words. You are one of the best students. I wish all are like you like that. So then he tells him that the good and the pleasant. Then he before really telling him about the ultimate Atma Jnana, then he wants to just take him through, the nature of the self, what are the obstacles, ये सब के बारे में वो तो सेकेंड चैप्टर में फर्स्ट और सेकेंड श्लोक आप देख लेंगे अभी. नाउ विल डू जस्ट 1 or 2 श्लोकास इन द सेकेंड चैप्टर ऑल्सो. He says, अन्य श्रेयो अन्यदैव प्रियः ते उभे नानार्थे पुरुषं सिनीतः तयोः श्रेय आददानस्य साधु भवति ह्यते अर्थाद्य उप्रेयो वृणीते. So, अन्यत् श्रेयः अन्यत् उदैव प्रियः. Good and pleasant are two things. One is good, that is preya and shreya, and one is pleasant, that is preya. They are different. They serve different purposes. Ubhe nanarte purusham sinita. They give different purposes for which they are there. Each is however a bondage, though not in the same sense. Whatever they sing, tayoho shreya adadanasya sadhu bhavati hiyate artadhya upreyo pranite. He who chooses the good does good to himself, chooses the pleasant, misses the purpose of life. जो श्रेय जो चुनते हैं, one who accepts the श्रेय, so he is in the path of liberation. Otherwise, you are born again and again in the cycle of birth and death endlessly. So if one understands, there is that's why, when you talk of, the pleasures, happiness, etc., what is that which can be the highest? Supposing, there is no, if normally, what we understand by having something, by doing something, by acquiring something, कुछ लेना, कुछ खाना, कुछ पीना, कुछ एक करना, that will give us pleasure. That is because, we don't have that full idea of what is good and what is pleasure. Supposing, आपका कुछ भी जरूरत नहीं है, but still, ultimately, where do you feel this pleasure or happiness or anything? It's in the state of mind. Supposing, you may take a very good item, say, supposing आप रसगुल्ला खा लेते हैं. But the real, the जिह्वा gives you only a taste. जिह्वा से आपका क्या पता होता है? ये मिठाई है. The जिह्वा does not give you that ananda. The ananda or pleasure is felt in the mind only. Is it not? Whatever you do, whether in respect of food or acquisition or property or wealth or whatever it is, आप बाहर जगह से जितनी चीज़ हम लोग करते रहते हैं, all that is are externally acquired. But the real thing, the ultimate effect, the happiness or the ananda or this is felt in the mind only. But supposing you reach such a state of mind that you are always like that, is it not better? That's what they say, that is what the Atma Jnana can give. And आप रसगुल्ला के आनंद हुआ, लेकिन आपको तो पनीर का आनंद नहीं हुआ, उसके लिए आपको अलग करना पड़ता है. आप गाड़ी के लिए तीसरा लेना पड़ता है, फिर कपड़ा के लिए चौथा चाहिए. So there are, in the external world, endlessly you keep on pursuing, because you have one, there is one more, there is one more, there is one more, there is one more, there is no end. Endlessly pursue, and ultimately you remain only deeply dissatisfied, because यही मिला तो वही नहीं मिला, वही मिला तो यही नहीं मिला. So it goes on endlessly. But supposing you reach a state of mind where there is absolutely, you don't feel at all. Supposing you are constantly eat to feel. Supposing you say, no, I don't need to eat at all. Simply I can be in that. I listen to a song, my stomach, my heart, my everything always full. I don't even feel like going and eating. It happens. Supposing normally you are a good eater. You eat heavily. You are a foodie, mind you. But then you are also a sports lover. You are watching a cricket match. 2 hours, 3 hours, you don't even feel like getting up. Where is your hunger? Where is your desire? So that means there are higher and higher levels of fulfillment. That's why the human life, the whole journey is from gross to subtle. The more and more you progress towards subtle, greater and greater is the joy, its longevity, and its quality. Suppose you eat substantially, you eat, then after 2 hours, 3 hours, the stomach will not accept. You say, oh, morning you took in a 7-star hotel, 10,000. For 1 week I will not give food. Will the stomach accept? Arey Baba, main mari jaunga. Then immediately after 3 hours you have to feed. But supposing you listen to a good song, आपको तो कई घंटा मन ही मन चलता रहेगा. In your mind, it will be reverberating. You may be the worst of singer, but then the tune will be very clear in your mind. It is going on. You don't need anything. Similarly, to say if you can meditate beautifully, then for days together you can enjoy that peace. So, the journey. So, these are all gross to subtle level. But the highest level is when you really realize that. That's why it's Tarati Shokam Atmavit. One who knows the Atman goes completely beyond sorrow. Because why? All our happiness, sukha, dukkha, everything is related to the existential world. Do you have sukha, dukkha about something which is beyond the world? Everything is in this world only. Supposing you go to a plane which is beyond this world, nothing in this world will touch you. Is it not? If you are in this world only, in the transactional world, we have this difference of opinion, happiness, peace, fight, raga, dvesha, everything. Lekin aap iski uppar chale jaye. Supposing your mind goes to a level, that's what they say happens when you go into deep trance or samadhi or things like that. There is no vritti. Even the idea of body is totally not there. When Sri Ramakrishna used to go into samadhi, that Mahendralal Sarkar, once or twice he put his finger and touched his eyeballs. Can anyone? You can't touch your eyeball. Aapki 3 inch pehle aankh band ho jayega. Kudi. The eyes will shut automatically. But because he had absolutely no body consciousness, Mahendralal Sarkar would touch, yet Sri Ramakrishna never felt it. The pulse had stopped. So it is possible. Supposing, so at least, the effort is worth, because even if you imagine it, it goes beyond. Is it possible? Yes, that level is absolutely, there is no sorrow, there is no suffering. It's a complete fulfillment. Like, if you always have in one stroke the joy of eating all the best food, having all the best clothes, having all the best other equipment, house, vehicles, everything. If everything is there in one stroke, who would not prefer that? So that's why he says, no, I don't want all that. These are all limited for a time being. These are all anitya. I want that which is beyond all that. So, am I slowly taking him to that path? But before that, he wants to give him a briefing. He says, Shreya and Peya, they are the two things, the good and pleasant are two different things. They keep coming. They are for different purposes. So, naturally, Preya is that which is pleasant, temporary, satisfying, and then Shreya is something which is long-lasting, which is eternal, permanent. But then, unless you know how to distinguish between these two, people will go for Preya and they will miss the Shreya. That's what everybody does. See, most people in this world, they understand, not that nobody understands. But then, that will to struggle, will to select, will to go in that right direction, that is lacking. That is not happening. So for that only they say, you have to practice. Practice is the only way. Abhyasanita kaunte, vairagyanita grihite. Repeatedly, by doing that, you get that. Of course, in Advaita they say, you have to do constantly Sravana, Manana, Nididhyasana, constantly think about Nitya and Anitya and all that. Slowly, if you do over a period of time, then you get those samskaras, and that is how you develop. That's what they say in the Advaita philosophy. Then again, next sloka he says, Shreyascha preyascha manushyam tau samparitya vivinakti dhiraha Shreyo hi dhiro bhi preyaso vrinite preyo mando yogakshemat vrinite. So, good and the pleasant are open to everybody. Shreyascha preyascha manushyam tau samparitya vivinakti dhiraha. Wise person, after closely examining, Vivinakti means differentiating between Shreya and Preya. हम सबको सामने Always both Shreya and Preya present themselves before us. Every moment, every day, every second. But mostly people select the prayer. अरे बाद में क्या होगा मालूम नहीं है, हैं? मरने के बाद क्या, अरे अभी ले लो. Why instead of bird in hand is bird two in the bush, let me do it right now. Why worry about what? And they go down the path of Shreya and they lose everything. That's why Sampanitya Vivinakti Dhiraha, weighing the two, their merits and demerits. Short-sighted person, Preyo Vrinite. She takes the Preyo Mando Yoga Kshemat. So why? Because it's concerned with only the physical comforts. They say this yoga and kshema. Yoga, they say, is, getting the things which you had really aspired for. अब ये चाहिए वो चाहिए सब मिल गया, वो योगा. क्षेम क्या है? उसका प्रिजर्व करना, उसका रक्षा करना. So people are busy getting in, that is yoga and kshema, preserving it. चाहे वो तो खो ना जाए, it keeps on increasing, it is well protected. Day and night busy acquiring and protecting. So that is the path of prayer. But the point is, do people really get the satisfaction or happiness or anything? Everywhere, even in the richest and the poorest, they all suffer from loss of peace of mind. Whatever, however money you may have, how much of wealth you may have, everything, somewhere or other, this is not working, that is not working, that is not happening, इसके साथ नहीं मिल रहा है, उसके साथ नहीं बन रहा है. So, it goes on and on and on. That's why, the dhira, people who are really person of that kind of supreme intelligence or knowledge, etc., they give up that which is temporary, that which is for the time being. See, that's why, if you put it the test of nitya and anitya, all that is prayer will go away. Because, they're all not lasting, they are temporary, they have no lasting life or no lasting guarantee. So, but then, when they come before, it is so tempting. So, आपका मिलिटमेंट में होता पंक्ति में परोस रहे हैं, रसगुल्ला they are bringing, and then they say the Swami has diabetes, now उसका squeeze करके दे दो. So you squeeze out the rasa and give it, but that will not help. Still it will, your blood sugar will go up. So there also, in how many ways the mind tries to deceive you. You do it, it's okay. आज कर लो, एक बार कुछ भी नहीं होगा. अरे एक आध बार करना चाहिए. इतना ज़्यादा मत करो. हर चीज़ ज़्यादा बड़ी भालो ना है. Everything you don't keep on doing too much is not good. What is too much? Nothing is too much. Whatever, however you must do, it will be still less than what is required. There is nothing called too much in spiritual life. वो कहते हैं ना, ज़्यादा मत करो, ज़्यादा मत, कुछ भी नहीं होता है. It is never ज़्यादा, it's always come only compared to what is required. But then the mind tries to deceive you in so many ways. It says, no, it is not like that, it is not like that. But really, because the manda, that which is perishable, that which is leads to the that kind of a goal, automatically they go because they are not blessed with the other qualities where they can select, then they can do all that. It's not possible at all. That is why they select and they suffer, they are drawn into the cycle of birth and birth eternally, and they go on in that only. So if you want to really, that's why so they put one of the most important ideas, mumukshutva. When you come to deep spiritual life, whether that mumukshutva, the desire. See, only when you know we are in bondage, there is a question of mokshutva. जो भी है बहुत ही अच्छा है, अच्छा चल रहा है. Where is the question of mokshutva for me? अरे मेरा तो गाड़ी घोड़ा पैसा पति पत्नी बच्चा सब तो ठीक है भाई, आप क्यों भगवान ले आ रहे हैं, क्यों उनका परेशानी कर रहे हो? Why do you want to trouble God? I am fine with all my wife, kids, pati, patni, everything is there, bunnies. So only when you know that these things are, see, ultimately, ultimately the innate nature of everybody is the Supreme Self only. And one day other people have to turn to it. It comes in various ways. In some it comes in the form of a terrible blow. जो होते हैं ना, अचानक somebody very dear would go, or he or she himself might be afflicted with something incurable like cancer or something. Something will come to totally shake the foundations. Otherwise, we are so firmly entrenched in this transactional world, we are unable to think beyond that. But when something drastic happens, then such people suddenly turn to spirituality because they have clearly understood the impermanent nature of this life through the terrible blow that. But in many cases it happens slowly over a period of time, doing slowly, dhire, karte. At some point of time in life, they understand, yes, we have had enough. ये तो बहुत हो गया, अभी क्या बाकी है, जीवन में तो बहुत देख चुका हूँ. And that's also another way, because supposing you are of a certain age, you have gone through so much in life, plus, minus, happiness, dukkha, suffering, this, that. See, for everybody, a person of some age, the anitya or the impermanent nature of life that is full of sorrow, sufferings, it's full of dukkha only. Now and then you get a little one flash of some sukha that everybody knows. In spite of that, people are, again there is a question, why, if it's all there, why it is not being pursued? Why it is not pursued? Because all that is only, the knowledge, etc., about the superior or anything, it is not without doubt. It's not anasandigdhi. It's full of with doubts and with uncertainty. अरे क्या है, क्या बोला, कौन देखा है, सच क्या है, मालूम नहीं है. So we don't want to invest there. We think it's better to invest here and Baba, good or bad, at least we know right in front of us it is happening. बाद में क्या हुआ, आप दिन भर जब ध्यानी किया 20 साल कुछ भी नहीं हुआ, क्या फायदा है, this also gone, that also gone, you become bold. So various kinds of calculations come to the mind. So that's why the Holy Mother somewhere says, if someone even turns to spiritual life with some seriousness, know that God's grace is upon that person. Because how many people, so many people want to come here as a tourist. They are sending mails, they are sending phone calls they are making. But very people want to come and do a 3-day retreat. सुबह शाम ये सब कठोपनिषद सुनना किसका बनता है बोलो? What is the point? Morning, evening, sitting to useless talk on Kathopnishad. So it's very difficult to really pursue this path like that. For that only you need that tremendous, that grit, that vairagya, all put together, all the little of all those qualities. One may not have complete nitya vastu viveka, one may not have complete vairagya, one may not have all the sharadamadi sampatti, one may not have complete mokshatva, has to throw everything and go. But at least, if partially, even if to some extent you have, at least the inquiry can happen. At least one can start going in that direction. What is it? Is it we have seen enough? See, all of us have experienced so much in life. Life should not have any attraction for us. We have seen so much. So that is why these kind of texts, etc., which remind you of that, give beautiful, so many beautiful descriptions about Atman, etc., that will come in the 3rd chapter. In fact, by the end of the third valley itself, more or less, Yama has given him a very good this thing. But then he keeps on telling him about the immortal nature of Atman, so many beautiful descriptions he gives. So all that to strengthen and make him be fully convinced. So that is it, and how he takes him forward in this journey, we can continue in the afternoon. But if you have any questions, yes.
In the first shloka, this Shreyas is also Sinita, that is also a bondage. Then which path to follow? Shreyas and Shreyas?
Yeah. Although it is given as bondage in the sense that it is, though not in the same sense, it is not binding you that, because even if you go for the Shreyas, ultimately till you pursue the highest, it is not enough. What is apparently good? Good is means give up all that, lead a moral life, be ethical and moral and all that. But still that is not the highest. Till you reach the highest, this is also, even goodness also can be a bondage. People are, they always worry about what others will say about us. I am good because others are watching. Intrinsically I may not be so. Samaj kya bolega? So, in that sense, Shreya also, unless you really take it to that level, even that can be, you can see in a sense bondage, although it is far, far different from pleasure. Because constantly they coming before us means constantly that idea of Atma Jnana is not coming. Shreya and praise is one is downright worldly aspiration, going for sense-related things, acquisition, property, enjoyment, putra, pautradi, all that. Shreya is, leading a moral life, good life, helping others, all that, performing the shastra with the karma, etc. So, the choice is there. But then if you take that path and go further, till you go to the highest, then only you will be rid of all bandhans or bondage, etc.
To go beyond sattvic, all the three.
Yeah.
All the $3.
Yes.
Maharaji, is there a way to generate mumukshutva or increase that mumukshutva? Like, fact of life is what it is, if it is good, it is good, it is normal, Given that and, the practices, whether it is reading scriptures or praying.
Yeah, all that will take you to a desire for ultimate knowledge. Till such time, that is all. That's also not enough work. That's not the highest. It is short of the highest in that sense.
By sincere seeker and doing all shraddha, goodwill actions, even you told me that mind is ananda, we are ananda, you told me, that even that consciously watching that mind, beyond that, we will guide at that time by the grace of.
Yes, you see, one thing is, for all spiritual aspirants, there are ways, the path you have chosen. Supposing you have chosen a particular parampara, particular sampradaya, along with that one can go. So, but then, most of the people who guide, they're all they ask you to go from the path of Dvaita only to ultimately to, there is no one directly to guide. Maybe somewhere, we don't know, some sampradaya, some ashrama might be there who do only Advaita. Because you see, now Advaita, what is the idea? Advaita starts with the premise that the world is completely unreal. That means you must completely dissociate from the world. That's the starting point. Then you cannot have job, family, nothing will work. All that have to be complete. Because if you are a very seriously, intensely into Advaita आपकी इतना आप ले लिया, आप तो जगत के साथ कोई संपर्क नहीं बना पाएंगे, रख नहीं पाएंगे. So that way, that's why the idea from Advaita, you take the idea of anityatva. Everything is unreal, there is something beyond that we can. But for sadhana, for 19, that's what Thakur also says, as long as you are in the realm of body and mind, for you to talk of Advaita, I am that Atman, it is not sajena bole, tik subidhar na irukum bola. You cannot say that. Because what essentially Advaita mean? I am not the body, I am not the mind. And obviously, even if somebody cuts off your hand, you cannot feel, because I am not the body. What happens is, I am not the hand, so if one cuts my hand, what does it matter? Can we have that? So Advaita is uncompromising, if you do like that. So, in that what they say, aapke liye pehle Shravan, you listen to again and again the Shruti Vakya. Bahut sari aap, see, your whole life should be one of sadhana. And then manana, think deeply about it. फिर मंथन करके जो पहले सुना उसके अच्छे से समझना, thinking more deeply, then settling into that kind of complete awareness. It's called nididhyasana. You are constantly aware of that idea. It doesn't desert your mind even a second. Then only you can progress in that line. But in Dvaita, what they say, you take the japa, nama, nama japa is given you. Through that practice, you intensify. See, the idea is, everywhere, whether it is Dvaita or Advaita, ultimately to get our limitedness, that we are the body, we are the mind, our ahankara, our ego, complete effacing all that is the ultimate sadhana. So it is possible this way also. Supposing you become such a great devotee, You keep on doing intensely all the time, more and more and more and more and more. Finally, there is nothing left of you. Only you are fully immersed only in the idea of your Ishta or your object of worship. That's also one kind of completely getting over the idea of body mindedness, completely getting over the idea of any limitedness. That's also possible that way. So what suits us where we are, accordingly only we'll be able to do sadhana.
At some point, mind will be standard Maharaj at that time.
No,
because,
see, the point is,
not,
no, if one is a very serious sadhaka, as we go in life, we will get guidance. See, I am here, what the point in my discussing what will happen if I go to America? No, first of all, we must do all this, then get visa, get passport, get a ticket. Then we can think which city we are going. So as you progress only, right now we cannot say what will happen when I am completely free from all that, who will guide me? That question does not arise now. First of all, we have to progress. First of all, we are so much embedded in the idea of this body and mind. This is the first obstacle we should try to get rid of. Then slowly as we progress, it's possible it will come, guidance will come. Nowhere as we have seen any great spiritual aspirant not getting any guidance. Somewhere, some word, some letter, some book, some simple one sentence. People have just एक कहाँ से simple छोटी से कुछ पढ़ा उससे सब हो गया. Because when the mind is fully prepared, that's why this Avadutas is 24 gurus, like anywhere, anything, from one bird, from here, from there, one nadi, somewhere you will get that. What you need you will get. Only thing is, whatever we know, जितना आप जानते हैं उतना आपका खुद का तैयारी करना. Whatever we have understood, have we practiced to that extent? Then only the next step comes. Then it is possible. Slowly you will go to that level also.
Maharaj,
Yes.
Shreya and prayer, in most of the cases, it's very simply we can categorize this is Shreya and this is prayer. But in some points, these are very closely associated.
Yes.
And it's very difficult to identify which is Shreya and which is prayer for me. So any specific guideline on this?
If you can give any example?
Yes, I can. So in my life, I'm just giving you the most recent example of my case. See, I'm in a householding background. So the duties in my household life is also my duty. And my aspiration towards this spiritual life, it's also my duty. So the day I'm just about to come here, the day before, I received an email about a very important assignment in my office work. So for that I need 2 days input, and I have to drop my trip for this retreat in this case. So I decided that I will not pursue with that case. I refused. I assigned that to someone else and I came here. So what I have done, I am in a dilemma.
No.
What I have done is it prayer, Shreya?
No, naturally you have taken this Shreya only. See that is what gives impetus to spiritual life. अब आध्यात्मिक जीवन में कैसे बढ़ेंगे? ऐसे बहुत सारे निर्णय लेना पड़ेगा. एक नहीं, बहुत सारे लेना पड़ेगा. तब आप आगे बढ़ पाएंगे. You have made a good beginning. Because how many people have the courage? अरे ठीक है, वो तो बाद में भी होगा, अगले महीने भी होता है, ये पहले करो. But no, I have decided I am going. Because you have already applied for, not that you are going without information. You have already applied, you have made everything. So they cannot last minute say you cannot go. So that capacity, that courage to say no, that is what makes you a spiritual aspirant. आप आध्यात्मिक जीवन में बढ़ना चाहते हैं, आपका ये साहस जरूर चाहिए, तब आप बढ़ पाए. क्योंकि हर बार जगत आपका खींचेगा. The world will always pull us back. That's the nature of the world. It will imaginary duties, it will bring imaginary responsibilities to bring. But once you know this is my path, one should have the courage to take the decision. Then it will always be good only. Anybody, anything else? और कुछ प्रश्न है? फिर 5 minutes time is there. विमल जी, ठीक है?
महाराज, ये जो अभी आप अद्वैत में बोल विद फॉर्म क्वालिटी जो वर्जिन में तो भक्ति योग में भी गॉड यही समझाता है मेरे ख्याल की जो जो बुद्धि दे है वैसे उनके लिए इट इज़ वेरी डिफिकल्ट टू परस्यू द पाथ ऑफ फॉर्मलेस। तो जो गुण वाला है जैसे बता रहे हैं कि स्टेप बाय स्टेप जा सकता है, स्टेट में स्टार्टिंग विद अद्वैता इज वेरी वेरी
Yeah. Nobody is asking you to start. आप धीरे धीरे चलो, नो प्रॉब्लम। इसी तो मैं वही बोला ना, द्वैत भाव से आप स्टार्ट करो। See, because Guru Maharaj himself says, and Shantatmananda clearly discusses in Leela Prasanga, when you go to the highest level of bhakti, that is same as Advaita only. क्योंकि वहाँ आपका खुद का कुछ भी नहीं रहता है, सिर्फ भगवान ही रहता है। वो भी एक तरह एकत्व है। यहाँ एक आपका आत्मा व ब्रह्मन कहते हैं, वहाँ भगवान कहते हैं, फर्क वही है। सो इन द सेम, सी दैट्स व्हाई अल्टीमेटली द आइडिया इज टू, वेदर इज bhakti or jnana or yoga or even karma, the idea is to get rid of our body mindedness, that I am the body, I am the mind, is the first obstacle. Iski ubharna, and then becoming more and more deeply interested in sadhana, giving up whatever is the worldly pursuit, that is spiritual life.
So Swamiji, when does the responsibility be over?
Responsibility over the moment you turn. The moment you turn seriously spiritual life, that moment it is over. आप जब भी आप अनुभव करेंगे नहीं मेरा जीवन में यही चाहिए और कुछ नहीं है, बस you throw everything away, बस।
Maharaj, are we saying that the decision lies upon us?
Yes.
It is basically
Definitely.
for us to decide rather than.
No, nobody else can decide for you. We and we alone. No one else. Huh? Okay. So all have borne prasad and